last 3 days we had learned how to connect to Excel. Yesterday I showed you how to connect to a web page and then how to import data from there and then do the necessary transformations. In today, what we are going to see is, if you look onto our drive, there are two, these are nothing but folders actually. Now say suppose I am being given a folder with a good number of Excel. Here there are 8 Excel files, right? All of them are of the same format. When I say same format, it means that the number of columns, okay, that's pretty the same only. I'll show you once at my end also. Like in here, if I open any one, okay, you are seeing, right? It's May 2020's data. The dates are related to May only, yes. And your number of clients and the sales in million. That's what is the data in this particular uh, workbook. Okay. Likewise, here I'm showing you for May. Similarly, you would have for others also. Your March, June, how many how many ever number of months workbook you're seeing, so many of them will be there. Just that few of the records might be like not everyone is going to contain some 10 records. Maybe the number of records might be here and there, but the sequence and the format of what your there are only 3 columns and so only. Okay, that's what I meant. Like the format is the same. Okay. Now, how to, in that case, I can't be working like if I have these 8 files given to me in a folder, I should be able to combine them and get a single table of data, or let me say a single query of data in my Power Query editor. Okay. All the 8 files into one. So before that, going off, I just need to copy the folder path. Okay. That's what I did. And now my blank report I've opened. In here, you come to get data. You don't see an option called folder. You will get to see it when you select more. And you see, very well see your folder and say connect. Okay, I'll put the path over here and say okay. My navigator is going to open up. Yeah, but not the exact one, but a bit of like it does give me the list of files which are available in that folder, the each file names and extensions as well, and few more metadata as to when was that when is this particular data being accessed, when it was modified, when it was created, and so on, and what is the path as well. But in here, what is of our main concern for combining of these data is your first 2 records only. Okay, I may use this combine and transform load over here, but at times it does give us a error. Okay, it's a XLS, I mean your Excel workbooks, huh? At times it gives us an error. So I'll choose the option that we all, just a second, hearing too many voices. Yeah. So in here, I'll go for our usual transform data. My voice is audible, na?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Yes, okay. Because I had muted the my mic, right? That's why I asked you. Okay, so now I see my Power Query editor, wherein all the 8 files they show me in few rows, like 8 rows of data I'm seeing. Each one of them is actually having the data, but how to even extract the data from here? And as I told you, only the first 2 columns are very much relevant to me. That is your binary, the column which is named as binary, and the second one which is as, I mean, sorry, the first one is content, which gets me all binary data, and here the name of that file. Rest all of them are not at all necessary for me. Okay, so I'll select these two and remove other columns so that I'm just left out with what is very much necessary for us. Okay, now in here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a column. Okay, I'll go for this add column and then custom column. Okay, let this be the name custom, doesn't matter. I'll type here Excel. Yeah, see, did you see this option workbook, excel.workbook? This command is used if we want to import data, or even if we want to get in the data from an Excel workbook. If you are not sure, if you're thinking that you have not seen this earlier, we have seen this very much whenever that first file which I got connecting to Excel. So when we did that in the source step, you would have seen it as excel.workbook, and within brackets, you would have seen the file path, our local machine file path. So same thing only I'm going to do here, but it's not the local machine path here, but it's the content, because content has got the data. Your name is just the file name, but your actual data is available in the content column. So I give this so that my data is very much extracted, and I say okay. The moment I did that, you can see, yes, some table has been there. If I just click on one, you will be able to see, like Excel workbook, when I opened, the data was in your sheet, in your like, yes, it was there in the first sheet of Excel file, but then it was in table format. So only in Excel only we do get this tables and all terminology, not in others. So we can really make out, okay, and if I just try to for make it like this double ended, wherever you see na, it's your actual data, you can make out date, client, and sales million. Anyway, I'll show you how to do it just to make you understand. Yes, the table has got my data. Now what I'm going to do is just it's a double-ended arrow, no? So I'll expand it. Well, this is not the actual one, not an issue. I'll just extract all these columns, and I don't want this original name, column name as prefix. Now what happens is if this particular checkbox is ticked, and if I say okay, the column names which get expanded, they will be having like custom dot name, custom dot data, whatever here the column name we had given as prefix, whatever is, I didn't give any new name. I just kept it as custom only. So that particular name gets added up as a prefix to each of these column names. Not necessary. Okay, so anyway, if you want, I can show you. See, this is what is happening, right? So unless it's not needed, so what we can do is we'll just uncheck that option and go ahead for my expansion. And here one more option is also there. Many a times, if you want to go ahead, count of data is also there. Okay, we are not interested in count as of now. We are interested in actual columns only. So I'll go ahead for okay. Now, in here, if you see, it looks very much similar to like whenever we are trying to connect to any Excel workbook, item is either sheet or table, right? You would have seen it for one file. You are seeing it here for 8 files. So one file, you have two records or two rows of data. One is sheet and one is table. Here 8 files are there. So 8 into 2, 16 records you're seeing, or maybe 16 rows of data you're seeing. And each two, one for table and one for sheet. Now I will filter out the sheet over here. You may go with sheet, doesn't matter if you're going with sheet or table, but this is small difference between the two. As in, if I go with table, I don't have to worry about the promoted header step. We don't have to really apply that. But if we go with the sheet data, we would have to apply that. That's the only difference. Okay, so I'll just come here in kind, filter out my sheet and retain back my table. So now I'm there with 8 records. All of them are of the kind table only. Okay, now after we get to see this, what are the three? There is only 3 columns that are really necessary for our like extraction of actual data. One is data, because that's got I even opened and showed it to you, na? Name of the file and your table's name. So first your name, then I'll go for item, and then my data. Rest three are now not necessary for us. Again, I'll right click and go for remove other columns. Now again, this double-ended arrow, now, if you expand it, you will be able to see the date, client, and sales in million. This is what I had shown even before connecting to this folder path through our Power BI. I had opened and showed it to you. Now, this is what you would have seen. I showed it for May and March month. So I say OK. Now I get my data. All of them are like it's from all the 8 sheets or 8 workbooks. I've got all the data. Is that okay? Yes, no?
Yes.
Just some few steps are to be followed. That's it. No big like rocket science. Just few steps are to be followed. Nothing big deal. Like you get connected to the folder,
Ma'am,
you
can you
given the
tell all these steps? Can you
in
tell
one
all these
shot.
steps once in short?
Yeah, that's what I was about to start. Ma, you came in. What I'm saying is we are supposed to connect to the folder. Like we go to get data and generally we choose either web or Excel workbook. Na? I have to go to more options so that I can see the option as folder. So in the folder option, dialog box which opens up, I need to give in the local file path. I showed you now. Here is what I do have it. So similarly, this folder and all these 8 files, Excel files are very much given in our Power BI drive. Just download them, save it onto your local machine into the same folder. So that particular folder's path only you're supposed to give. Okay, once you given that, you are going to get this whole list of it like what to say like for each 8 files, what's the content, what's the name of the file, what's the extension, and some metadata about that particular folder. I mean each file in that folder. From there, what is this our necessary columns is your content which has got the actual data and name of the file. Apart from these two, rest of them I am just removing. That what happens the second step when I say removed other columns. Okay, here it says as these two columns have been retained. You could see this in other way also. Either you remove the other columns or you have retained these two columns, both of them meaning the same. Now here I am just okay, I am being given the data in binary format. I need to extract it, right? That's the reason I do go ahead for adding a custom column wherein the command is nothing but excel.workbook. You don't even need to write the whole thing. Just start typing Excel. Your dot workbook will be popping up over there. Okay, once you do that within brackets, that actual data, which is nothing but content, it's available in the content column. Na? That's what even I have given here and say, okay, your column is going to be get created. In other words, from the binary data, I will be able to see my data now. Now, in any of the operations related to Power Query, wherever you see this double-ended arrow, it's you need to expand that. It contains data. So I will expand that and go in for say here if you expand and just say okay, I'll get all these files. My data and this name, sorry, item is got the main things. Data is actual data, and kind will be your sorry, not item. Kind will be either a table data or a sheet data. We do get that, right? So that's what I had done over here. That's your expanded column. I do get to see this. Now data, we all know I have been mentioning it is the actual data that we are wanting to see. Name here is the file name, that is your Excel workbook name. And last of all, your item over here, it has either the sheet name or your table name. Now I can't go ahead with both. I have to choose one among them. Either you go ahead with sheet or table. Table is better because we don't have to worry about the promoted headers step. We wouldn't have, it wouldn't be necessary for us to apply. Headers will be in a proper format, proper position only. But in sheet, it doesn't at times again have to apply the promoted header so that things are all fine. So here I just filter out the sheet and retain the table over here from kind column. That's what you would see in your filtered rows. kind is equal to table. So once I get that, now 8 rows of data are there. So this name is nothing but the Excel workbook, or let me say it simply as your file name. Then data is the actual data, and item over here is the table name. These three are the actual ones which I am going to retain and remove the rest. See, these three only I am retaining. Okay, if you feel you don't want item, that's also okay. But your file name should be very much there. Why it should be there? I'll just let you know now. Again, double-ended arrow in that data thing. So this data here, this double-ended arrow was there in the previous row also. Here also I could see. Even before filtering, while expansion, I could see it over there also. But here if I do, it will be like a confusion as to which one belongs. Like you have your sheet row also, you have your table row also. It will create a confusion. That's the reason table was retained and your kind as sheet was removed, or maybe say filtered out. And then I reach to the area wherein I've just retained your file name, item, and your data. In here, just expand this double-ended arrow. You are going to see these three. Now, in case, okay, item, maybe it could be that I don't want item. Okay, I could very well go ahead and remove this. Like when we had done for this remove columns, na, here itself, I could remove this item over here. Just keep this name and data only. That's also okay. But name, why it is necessary? Now, thing is, here in the expanded data, this is nothing. When it say file name, I should be, see, records of data, around 80 records are there. 10 from each of the files. So 10 files, 8 records each. So 10 into 8 is 80. Now, which record belongs to which particular file, I need to know. You might tell me that yes, your 4 here, this month number is very much indicative of the file name. I can't, okay, why would I really, I mean, if I want to see the date and understand the file name, uh, some extra effort I'm putting onto my brain or my mind. I don't want that when I can have the file name ready made with me as a column. So that's the reason. It's just going to help me out to understand, okay, these first 10 rows are from April sheet or April file. The next 10 is from August.